Hello, my God. Well, we have a new one for you today. Uh, the Aquarius series. Here, the sun and moon gravitates towards the evolutionary impulse of Aquarius. Here, we go. Here, we have a different experience. First of all, how's everybody doing? Good morning. It's 4:41 in the morning here in New York. Good morning for all of you that are out there on the other side of the world. Osolo, Sharifa, Lara, um, Brandon, Amanda, Jonathan, Olson. There's so many of you. Uh, please understand that you pay for your birth charts as for the year. And it's time to talk to my other older clients that have the birth chart. It's open for the full year. Some of you, it's been already 6 months. We have to do a second quarter. So those of you, Treasure, um, we missed our appointment. Treasure, how are you? Tracy, of course, and of course, oh my goodness, there's so many of you. All of you are coming along, and so many of you are evolving and growing. Okay, uh, fascinating. So these are the announcements. The school opens on the 29th of August. It's a correspondence school. The website is almost finished, so you can have information and look at the courses that you may like and that you may want. And I broke it up into semesters. It's $500 per semester with 7 videos on the occult. For those of you who are interested in the occult, for those of you who are interested in being astrologers, there's a whole different correspondence school. So I've been very busy putting that together, and it's almost together, and everything is going to open and start on schedule. Okay. So that's my announcement. And for those of you who have paid for birth charts, thank you so much. Some of you have already started the process with me. For those of you who are still interested in birth charts, remember you still got 4 days before I close down shop for about a month to focus on the school. And of course, you could have your tarot card readings, and I can do that for you if you don't want to do the birth chart. Birth chart is expensive, but it's not as expensive as you might think, but it's very valuable. It's $350 for the year, and you get 12 hours of information initially, and then after that, you have all the time in the world within the year to design your career, your plans, your objectives, and that's how we use the chart. Okay? And some of you might not need to be consulted every single week. Some of you might need to be consulted every other week or once a month. The information is intense. And a lot of you are young. A lot of you who request birth charts are between the ages of 24 and 27. Know that the real meat and potatoes of how the birth chart is going to work for you will not happen until about age 29. But you need to know the plan and the game plan to prepare. So a lot of you have been acting on your own instincts to actually come and get a chart done at 24, 25, 26. This is the time where you need to prepare for your future when you reach your prime. So the universe has been moving along as it should. And this is very Aquarian since we're not talking on the subject. Understand that when we're dealing with Aquarius, we cannot treat Aquarius, the Aquarius sun and the Aquarius moon, the same way that we have done Capricorn downwards. From Capricorn downwards, we're dealing with the personality, the ego, the daily life. When we reach Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, the last 3 signs of the zodiac represents the spiritual principle that will return us back to God. So a lot of the concerns and worries and vicissitudes of daily life that plays and concerns all of us doesn't really bother or phase Aquarius, Capricorn, and Pisces. Understand that these are the last three signs of the zodiac. These are the last. This is considered the Jacob's ladder of astrology. It is in Capricorn, the sign of initiation, that we begin to surrender the ego and all that which we have learned and accumulated from Aries on to Capricorn. The human ego has experienced everything that it's supposed to experience in the human condition, whether it's within a lifetime or within a multiple of lifetimes. We go around a revolution of the wheel many, many times, being born the Virgo, Pisces, whatever sign, multiple times around the wheel until we get to the perfect level of perfection. Understand that the zodiac wheel is a time clock. From Aries to Pisces, we're talking about from childhood to adulthood to old age and then dying and then returning to God. And if we choose to return into the wheel of rebirth, we come back as healers, or those of us who probably have not done so well and have to pay karma. And then we are bounded to return because of karma. These are principles that are governed when you are born with the sun and moon in Aquarius. Okay? I'm sorry that I am doing this video so late, 4 or 5 in the morning. But I've been so busy putting together the school and organizing the curriculum and making sure that I have everything on time for my existing students and for my future students, you know. So and in between that, you know, I myself am in school. Remember, I'm still doing working on my PhD at Columbia, doing my audit courses in anthropology. Between that and finding my own screen, putting that together and doing birth charts and then working on the website. And then my theater. Don't forget I run a theater company as well, which is still alive and well. And then my travel business, my company, which has me traveling around the world. You all know that. You have seen my video. So it's been quite a busy month, you know, and then my relationship in Florida with the Queen, the Earth Goddess, you know, and of course having to return and take care of business. So it's been quite a hefty month, and in the midst of this pandemic. But discussing this in this series is very in keeping with dealing with the visitors of Aquarius. When you're born with Aquarius, the Aquarius sun and the Aquarius moon, these things melt away. They don't matter. The personality, the ego here, when we reach Aquarius, is not functioning on the level of mundane matters like the rest of us from Capricorn down. When we're dealing with Aquarius and Pisces, the last two signs of the zodiac in particular, we are dealing with cosmic principles that are transcendental and are spiritually based. Even those who don't believe in spirituality, the path now when we enter Aquarius is that of psychological detachment. Psychological detachment from everything, from your loved ones, from your families, your friends, your environment, your neighborhood, even country, even government. There is an anarchy, a polarization that occurs when you're born with the sun and the moon in Aquarius. Oh, Roberto Ledesma, a German Spanish artist, and his ballads. Oh God, you want to cry! You want to cry! They're so beautiful, and it's very keeping with this series of Aquarius. It is the misunderstood man, the femme fatale, the opposite polarity being Leo. So we're dealing with the Aquarian man and the Aquarian woman who are quite cosmic. This is a signature of the cosmic evolution of humanity, symbolized when you're born with the sun and the moon in Aquarius. Rum and Coke. Rum and Coke, my last drink, last call, you know, is going on 5 o'clock. So I extended it because I've been so busy. You know, oh God, I can't tell you. Can't tell you. And I go to bed around 6 in the morning and I get up at 5 in the afternoon. That's when my day really starts. For those of you who know, my day starts at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Never before, because I'm so busy working and putting all this stuff together. Now, close to you. We've entered Virgo. We're no longer in Leo. We're in Virgo. It's time to buckle up, go to work, and develop industry. Luckily, as a Virgo, I'm very well in keeping with this energy. Let me say hello to a couple of you before we go into the sign of Aquarius. Who is out here? A lot of you are awake at this time. Hi, good morning. Good morning, Janae. Veronica Vasquez. Good morning, Aquarius Moon. Alucard, how are you, sir? Veronica, it's 1:42 a.m. here in California. Oh, yeah, it's 4:51 in the morning. Saturn, baby, 33, how are you? How are you? Uh-oh, uh-oh. No? The transformative life. Oh, my God, you are blessed. Yeah, I work until 5 in the morning. You're in a call, Janae? Okay. Dios, the prescription. Peace. I look, it's 2:15 p.m. in your country. Excellent. Janae, I can't wait to see you when you come back to New York. How are you, Janae? Yes, yes. Uncle Fernandez here. Janae, you said, does the rising resonate the same as the moon? No. Oh, stop it. Talking about the Aquarian sun and the Aquarian moon. You have to understand that we are now getting closer to return back to God. Aquarius has been accused of being people who think that they're God, and the God complex, which plays those born with the sun and the moon in Aquarius. But let me tell you, frank, frankly, quite honestly, if you're born with the sun and moon in Aquarius, you are cosmic and you are not of this world. And you're not going to understand this world that you're in, and the world won't understand you either. So let's get that out of the way first. So if you felt estranged in your own body, in your own country, in this planet, yes, you should, because you are not from here. And your consciousness, the ego consciousness, as it has evolved up towards Aquarius, is detaching from the mundane life of the ego. When you're born Aquarius, the sun and moon, you are dissipating from the ego. You're separating psychologically from the ego. Spiritually, there's a catatonia, an entropy that's going on inside you, and which is breaking down, breaking down, breaking down, and there's nothing to replace it to build it up. So I won't be surprised if many Aquarian men and women are deeply depressed and don't talk about it because they feel so alone and so isolated, cast off. They represent Uranus, whose genitals were cut off by Saturn, which sent them on a spin. And the genitals fell in the water, and there rose Venus, if you understand the mythology of Aquarius. So Aquarius, 1 second, 1 second. All right, come on now. These commercials, Saturn has been hitting me hard. I mean, he's been hitting me hard. But you know me, I'm Aries, I'm a motherfucker myself. I mean, I stand my ground and stay hard and stand fast. And that energy serves as well when we enter Aquarius. Just give me a second. Okay. You know, I love, Roberto Ledesma. I've been blessed to have some of the most fantastic artists in music of all cultures. But Latin, of course, is my favorite. It's passionate. I don't know. I love anything that's passionate. Passion. Passion is everything. There's no reason to live if you have no passion. And talking about that, this is exactly what the Aquarian sun and moon needs. When you're born with the sun and the moon in Aquarius, you live in your head. And you're questioning. It is a constant questioning that goes on in your psyche. And life is seen as a reflection, but not a reflection of you. You don't see yourself in the society that you even live in. You see yourself as a spectator and not as a participant in your own society, in your own community, in your own culture, in your own family. It's like the planet symbol of Uranus, tilting in its sideways outside in the outskirts of space where it's cold and lonely. This is the psychological mindset of those born with the sun and moon in Aquarius. Okay. How are you, Jenna Wilson? The sun and moon psychology of the Aquarian is different with the woman and with the man. Let's start with the woman born with the sun and the moon in Aquarius. But first, let's light the spliff. Hi. Oh, I don't know why that brings me so much joy. Let me tell you, when you are born with the sun and the moon in Aquarius, you have an intelligence. You have an intelligence that is unmatched. The problem born with the sun and the moon in Aquarius, as a man, you're masculine. You're sexy. You could whet the appetite of any woman and a few gents. But your mind is not consistent. It's not consistent in thought or philosophy because it changes. The Aquarian man will agree with you and then disagree with you. He will go against his own ideology. He's a radical extremist. There are 4 types of Aquarians and 16 subtypes. It depends on which type of Aquarian you're born and what they can in Aquarius. When you're born with the sun in Aquarius, there is a predisposition to look at life and people in it as an observable petri dish in a scientific lab. It's not that you choose to look at life that way. It's that you are born outside the box while everyone else is inside the box. That's the psychological mindset. And you sometimes you want to go in the box and be with everybody else, but the box doesn't let you in. But when you're in the box, you lose perspective of humanity. While if you're outside the box looking and being a spectator of humanity and life, you get to see a holistic picture of what humanity is. And that's the genius between being born with the sun and moon in Aquarius. That you see the genius and the holistic picture. You see the trajectory of humanity and everything that deals with the evolution, and not only of humanity, but everything in our planet. You see it, you know it. but there's no language to articulate the vision that you see, let alone being able to explain it to the average human being. And that adds another level of frustration that doesn't allow you to connect to other human beings in a way that you can emotionally express who you are in a safe environment psychologically, where you don't feel betrayed or taken for granted or taken as a crazy weirdo. Because that's the issue with being born with the sun and moon in Aquarius. The Aquarian man and the Aquarian woman doesn't understand why this psychosocial, psycho-emotional detachment exists within them, and why they cannot connect on an emotional, emphatic level with the rest of humanity. To understand why this is the case and why you may feel that way, Mr. Aquarius and Mrs. Aquarius, you have to go back into the mythology of Uranus. Uranus, the planet that was ruled Aquarius. Do you know that the planet Uranus is the only planet in our solar system that is upside down or sideways? All our planets are, have a polarity axis of north and south pole. All the planets are stationary. Uranus is the only planet that is tilted at 180 degrees upside down and is sideways. And many cosmologists don't know why. They don't understand why Uranus is our only planet in our solar system that is tilted sideways and rotates sideways. That's Uranus is the only planet that does this. And there is no scientific explanation as to why in cosmology. Material scientists don't understand the actual evolution of the planet Uranus. But if you talk to an occultist, he will tell you why, and why the children of the citizens of Uranus are the way that they are. This is not something that they're going to learn sitting in a psychologist's office or in a psychiatrist's office. They will get the understanding of who they are if they consult an astrologer, because we know why Aquarians are the way they are and why psychologically they function the way they do and why they feel the way they do. This is not something that you're going to get from psychologists, psychiatrists, and let alone cosmologists, who cannot even explain why Uranus is rotating 180 degrees off its own axis. Cosmologists, with all their intelligence, cannot explain why. And this is the very fabric and heart of the psychological feedback which makes the Aquarian man and woman. But the Aquarian man and woman does not know who he is. And if he does not know who he is, if below age 30, that's fine. We all go through those phases. But past age 30, you need to already have a clear definition as to who you are. And unfortunately, many Aquarians don't have that. Many Aquarians don't have that. They are spectators. For you to understand your own psychology, I'm going to tell you right now in this series why you are the way you are. And I hope it resonates with you. And I hope you can handle the information that Uncle Fernando is about to tell you about the psychological nature of Aquarius and why Aquarius is so fucking detached and so mid-sagittal. They're not in the same plane as we are. They have a different brain wave than we do. And this was by design. Because on our way back to being gods, as we were before we descended into matter, we need to have a mechanism within us that can connect us back to our own origin of divinity. And Aquarius, Uranus, expresses that mystery of divinity, that which has been lost in antiquity. Humanity has suffered amnesia. We don't know who we are. We don't know where we come from. We don't know how we were created. And we don't know where we're heading. But Aquarius does know. He knows intuitively, psychically. But he might not understand what he sees or understand or might be afraid to accept or envision what he sees or she sees. Or what is the vision It is a flash of insight, a flash of enlightenment that occurs once or twice in the life of every Aquarian man born with the moon and the sun in Aquarius. Okay? Let me light the spliff. Oh, this music. This ballad is so beautiful. And it's so Aquarian. The opposite polarity is Leo, the helpless romantic. The Aquarians deep down want to be loved. They want to be understood. They want to fit in. They want to be recognized for the genius that they are, even though they themselves may not be able to clearly define what that is. The man is different from the woman. The woman is glorious. The man is divine. But understand that these are psychological aspects of these of the sign. Mhm. These are psychological aspects of the sign. Okay, that if you don't understand it, you're not going to be able to put together what it means. Oh God, let me marinate and this wonderful ballad. Okay. Eve Ortiz, yes, the Aquarian with the moon in Pisces is similar to what I'm saying. Yes, when you have the sun in Aquarius and the moon in Pisces, you're on your way. You're on your way back to God or back to the wheel of rebirth. It depends. When a birth chart has to be erected to see where you're at in that evolution. But if you're in Aquarius, you understand that you are the 11th sign of the zodiac. You are the. Let me put it to you another way. What does zodiac mean? The word zodiac, what does it mean? The word zodiac comes from the word zoo. And what do you have in a zoo? You have animals in a zoo. The zodiac, the word zodiac comes from the Latin word zoolo, zooloico. In Spanish, zooloico means zoo, animal, where you have animals. Aries, the ram. Taurus, the bull. You have Cancer, the crab. You have Leo, the lion. You have Sagittarius, the horse. You have Scorpio, the scorpion. You have Capricorn, the goat. And then you have Pisces, the fishes. Animals. You got 4 signs. One is an inanimate object, which is Libra. It's the scales. It's neither animal nor human. And then you got 3 human symbols in the zodiac. Gemini, the twins. Virgo, the woman holding the wheat and the chaff, the virgin. And Aquarius, number 11. Those are the 3 humans in a wheel that's mostly animals. What does that tell you about humanity? We are born animals with animal natures, and we are to transcend our animal nature to reach human nature, which is what Gemini, Virgo, and Aquarius symbolize. And when we reach humanity, then we transcend that and we become gods. animal, human, God, the Trinity. Okay? So we are born with an animal consciousness, and it is up to us, to the human experience, to transcend our animal nature, become human, and then reach godhood. This is the symbol of Aquarius. It's deep. It's deep. It's deep. It's esoteric. It's deep. So if you are an Aquarius, you should thank yourself. You are on your way to a higher level of consciousness that many of us have not yet obtained, because we have not reached the level of Jacob's ladder of evolution around the wheel to reach that level of consciousness. Understand, Aquarius, that you are the shit. You are the shit. You are the example that will lead us back to return to Eden, where we once were as gods before we experienced the fall. This is the epitome of being born with the sun and the moon in Aquarius. It's deep. It's deep. I can't tell you how deep. And it's only been 31 minutes. It's deep. It's deep. And it's beautiful at the same time. I love Aquarius. I love Aquarius. They truly symbolize God in human form, especially in consciousness. Which is why Aquarius are not bothered with the things that from Capricorn down affect and bothers all of us. When you reach Aquarius, personality, ego, right and wrong, all that stuff melts away. It's not important. Yes, you do have unevolved Aquarian types as well as evolved Aquarian types. And you have something that is just awful. But one thing can be said about this combination is that each Aquarian, man and woman, know and understand where they fall in the cosmic level of evolution. Aquarians know, men and women, and they may not tell you. They may not tell you this, but Uncle Fernando is telling you. They know who they are. They know the level of consciousness that they are evolving to and coming from. Which is why Aquarius is so fucking detached from everything mentally, emotionally, and psychologically. Because it's all been experienced before from Capricorn down. Think about it. Think about it. Makes sense. Oh, I love this side. I wish I can play it to you so you cry with me with this beautiful balance. But listen, I've paid so many fines, and YouTube has paid some fines on my behalf. RCA Records and find the record because they're infringement rights. But I want you to feel and hear this music and how dreamy it is. I'm sorry, that's just me. So you understand what I'm saying? Let me take a minute. Ooh. Work, baby. 5:15 in the morning. Killer Cootie 07. If you're all air, then you're here to elevate the rest of us with the beauty of your intellect. But you have to understand that Aquarius, the men and the women, they're not here to concern themselves about love. They're not here for that. I can't tell you how many men and women have fallen deeply in love with these men and women. Do you think they care? They don't. Not because they're fuckers and motherfuckers, because they're cruel. But that doesn't sway them. What sways them is the intellect and advancement of the person that they meet. Fuck the emotion and love and all of that stuff. If it doesn't happen on Aquarius' turn, they don't want it from you. They won't admit that openly, but that's true. That's the truth. They don't want your love if it's not the way they want it. Because with Aquarius, to love them, you could love them because they're beautiful, sexy, and they're Aquarian women and men are incredibly sexy, hot-looking people, beautiful-looking people. Oh my God! But that doesn't mean anything to them that you feel that way about them. They don't care about that. They've transcended those feelings and emotions and desires of the ego. They're on a different wavelength than the rest of us. Okay? Understand that. By the way, there's some of you who have emailed me. Please don't email me. Text me for your questions, for even if it's for payment, for questions. Text me on my phone, not the email, because Google has an issue and Google is still trying to fix that. So I'm getting to some of you. I've not responded through the text because remember I get 200 calls a day. So I'm still processing every single one of you guys. Okay, so it's not that I'm being negligent and I'm ignoring you. You know, it's almost 40,000 of you and one of me. You know, so be patient. I will get to you. So so understand the psychological nature and psychological feedback of the Aquarian personality and ego, especially of the sun and the moon. Oh, pause. Mm. Listen, the Aquarian man, sexy as fuck. I ain't gonna lie, sexy as fuck. The Aquarian man, impossible for even other men not to be turned on or swayed by the Aquarian man. He's the epitome of masculinity and the God polarity of masculinity, while Pisces is the feminine aspect of divinity. Beautiful. These are beautiful men, beautiful women. But talking about the men particularly, here we have a problem with the Aquarian man. And now I'm going to switch to the Aquarian woman. The Aquarian man, as fabulous as he may be, and beautiful and handsome, and all of that stuff going on, it means nothing to him. If you like him because of that, he will hate you and dismiss you. He'd rather you be turned on by his mind rather than his dick. Yeah. And if you're the woman that's turned on by his body, which is fabulous, and not his mind, he'll dismiss you and leave you. If the woman gets emotionally attached to the Aquarian man, he will leave her. Oh, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. When it comes to the emotions, the Aquarian man has a fucking problem dealing and processing emotional exposition, intake, and decoding. He will leave you. I know many, even my own son-in-law, that abandon women who truly are good women, love them, will do anything from them. They fall in love with these men, and these men just walk out of their lives. Oh, it's horrible. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced. You would think that the Korean man has no love for himself and doesn't know how to receive love. But here's the thing, ladies and a few gents. The Aquarian man is not here to experience love. And that's a very tough statement to make, but it's true. The Aquarian man is not here to experience love. He's here to experience bliss in human form. Love is a part of it, but it's not everything to him. Love to him plays a minuscule role in his evolution as the 11th sign of the zodiac. Now, if we're talking about Virgo, Leo, Libra, where love and intimacy and connection with another human being is important, then yes. But in Aquarius, the 11th sign, far removed, we are moving away from that needs and desires of the ego. When you're dealing with Aquarius, you're dealing with the dissolution of the ego, which is why Aquarians are so detached, so impartial, so bipartisan. They might not even understand why they're made up that way. And many of them don't. It's because they were created with a very, very less fragmented ego that will allow that to be thrown away to grasp spirit. The next sign, Pisces. Do you see that? Do you see that? Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. As I enjoy this beautiful ballad, as I sip my rum and coke. Oh, this ballad has worked so well for this series. Okay. So are we clear? That's right, Veronica. The Aquarian woman and Aquarian man's mind cannot be changed. Once they grab a philosophy, they stick to it. But here's the thing. They can throw away that philosophy and adopt a whole different new one. Without warning, unpredictably so. So how do you deal with someone like that? How do you evolve with someone like that? The answer is that you don't. If you are a woman who happens to have the misfortune of falling in love with an Aquarian man, and I say misfortune because he probably may not love you the way that you love him. He will love your mind more than you love his body. He may love your mind more than your body. And if he likes your body and smashes it like he likes to do, it's only a matter of time while he will dismiss and throw you away like a rag doll. If there's only ask and push you to smash like he likes to do, and there's no mind, then that woman will be nothing but a masturbatory object to him. To capture the heart of an Aquarian man, you need to not focus on his dick or on anything else body-wise, even though he has all of that going, because it means nothing to him that you are attracted to him in that way. What he wants is for you to fall in love with his mind. Women and a few gents, please understand that about the Aquarian man, or you're not gonna get anywhere with him. Uncle Fernando is telling you, okay? I'm telling you. And I've slept with these men and women, so I can tell you, you can really get to know a person when you're in bed with him. And I'm gonna tell you, there is a fear of an emotional enmeshment that these men have towards women or in a sexual act with anybody, but particularly with women. Because the Aquarian man for the most part is by principle, is very heterosexual. But understand that maybe that might be the issue, because the emotions and the feelings are so bipartisan that there's no homogeneity of equality of the sexes emotionally within the integration of the Aquarian man. It may be that he doesn't own his inner feminine. And by not owning his inner feminine, he might not completely feel comfortable connecting to a human female in a way that may lead to permanent and long-lasting relationship in which he can surrender his vulnerability and allow a woman to trust to carry him. This doesn't seem to be something that comes easy to the Aquarian man to allow a woman to have his heart and or for him to surrender his heart either. I'm telling you straight up with no chaser. Let that sink in for a minute while I take another hit of this wonderful rum and coke. It's the last call. I'm about to do some coffee. Got 6 o'clock in the morning. I got clients coming in at 10 in the morning. Oh, my life, right? That's right. Visa Miyagi. MHF 123. The Dark Night of the Soul. You got that right. You got that right, girl. You got that right. You got that right. And we see a lot of these characteristics in Capricorn. Because again, it's Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, the last three triad. And Saturn was the classical co-ruler of Aquarius before Uranus was discovered. So the same principle that we find in Aquarius, we find in Capricorn. It begins in Capricorn and it culminates in Aquarius and then it dissipates in Pisces. Okay? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm having a situation here. Uh, Jaden Lee, you email me for a consultation. Don't email me. There's a problem with the email system, which is something that's being addressed by Google. Not my fault. Text me for a consultation. 347-485-6258. Jaden Lee, I'm gonna look up your name and I'm gonna look for your text this morning, okay, Mr. Lee? Um, uh, Zanab Amina, you need a rum and coke too? Girl, you know what? I know it's the last call, but you know, fuck it. Let me re-up it. I miss doing the videos. I miss being with you guys and talking to you guys. It's the only thing that brings me joy. Because when I'm not on the screen, I'm very Virgo and doing a lot of work and being very methodical about, and I don't got a chance to relax. This is my relaxation, talking to you guys and advising the young population to be the kings and queens that you were meant to be, and that's gonna rule this nation. I may be long gone after that, but this is why my work. I want to elevate all of you to become better human beings, so you can become the avatars that you were destined to be in the day of tomorrow. Listen, I've led a full, wonderful, charmed life. It's time that I give back. And this is how I give back. Because the grave is calling. And one day I'll be in that grave. You know, like you will be one day. Nah, nah. So let's take total advantage of what is being offered to you and use that to be the best man and woman you can be, that you were designed and destined to be. And this is a principle that is very epitomized when you're born with the sun and the moon in Aquarius. Mm. Let me re-up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, baby. Just a little bit. Remember that song? I'll be right back. Let me grab the last call. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't take too long. I hope I didn't take too long. I always hit the basket. I got some ginger, some stuff. You know what I mean, Virgo. I always bounce back and recuperate. But this is the situation with Aquarius. The Aquarian man is afraid to lose perspective of his own position in the universe if he merges with another human being. This is why the Aquarian man refuses to completely surrender to a woman and lose himself in a woman. He's afraid of the woman and the power of the woman. A man that loses himself into a woman is bliss. It says in the Bible, a man who finds a wife has found a good thing. As a man, to find a woman that loves you, that is the biggest blessing that you could ever experience. For a woman to want you and to want to be with you and to want to lay with you. Men love women, but not every woman is going to sleep with you. The woman that accepts you in her bed, you're lucky. And like it says in the Bible, it is a blessed and beautiful thing for a man to be desired by a woman and to be taken by a woman. It's a beautiful thing. A man was made for a woman's pleasure, not a woman made for a man's pleasure. The man was made for the woman's pleasure. So if a man finds a woman, he has found a good thing. But the Aquarian man is afraid of that experience. One of you gave me one of my number, 347-485-6258. And I'm gonna type my PayPal donation so you all can do your thing. Since many of you, I don't push that donation, but many of you ask, so I respond to it. Okay, so let me write that link for you, www.paypal.com/. There you go. I wrote down the link for the donations. Thank you, by the way. So understand that the Aquarian man is afraid to connect with intimacy. Intimacy means enmeshment with another human being. And if the Aquarian man surrenders himself to a woman, he loses his God complex and becomes human. And then that makes him common like the rest of us men on this planet. And the Aquarian man does not want to experience and feel that way. He wants to experience and feel his godity. But the Aquarian man cannot profess or claim his godity if he surrenders himself to a woman. That's the secret behind the detachment psychologically of the Aquarian man. If he loses himself to a woman and surrenders himself to a woman, mind and body, then she has him. And the God complex is stripped and he becomes immortal. And the Aquarian man does not want to be immortal. But if he bets a woman, if he allows himself to lose himself into the loins of a woman, then he loses his godity and becomes human, flaw and all, like the rest of us. So then he cannot claim his godity and God complex. And this is why he puts a detachment between him and his emotions. So he doesn't lose perspective of his own godity over yours. Let that sink in. Okay? Aquarians, okay, Starry Galaxy says Aquarians are afraid of the hidden agenda of other people. Not really, because the Aquarian man sees you. Yes, you can, Tom. You can send me questions. Send me the questions on my text on my phone. Send the donations and the PayPal. But don't send your questions on my email because somehow there's a problem with Gmail and Yahoo through Google, and that's being sorted out. So text me your information, your questions, the PayPal link. I gave it to you. So do that, and that way I'll get it right away, even after I finish the stream. I can look at my text and see if you texted me, and then because I'm gonna be up. Look, it's 5:30 in the morning. I'm gonna go out and get some coffee and stay up because I. So and I will answer your questions and find out what's up, what's going on. Starry Galaxy. What are they so afraid of that they stay so detached? Well, I just said it. They don't want to lose their God position in their mind, their position of being superior and highly advanced. If they drop down to the mundane levels of common humanity, then they don't feel that God in them. They lose godity. This is something that they're not going to admit to you. But that is the psychological basis as to why they keep a level of detachment from you. God in the heavens is detached from us, isn't he? So if Aquarians have a God complex, they feel that they need to be detached from you. Just like God is detached from us, Aquarians feel as they feel that they are God in human form, that they should be detached from you. Do you get that? It doesn't have to be true or valid, but that is the mindset of the Aquarian man and the Aquarian woman. But for the most part, for the Aquarian man, this is the mindset. They don't want to lose their godity. And if they connect with you fully and in enmeshment with you as a human, as a normal mortal, then they lose their godity. And they don't want to. They want to be above you a bit. Kind of like Capricorn. In fact, well, they've learned that from Capricorn, the sign that precedes Aquarius. The air signs are not narcissistic in nature. They're more egotistical in nature. The fire signs are more narcissistic in nature. Okay? The air signs, Gemini, Cardinal Libra, the highest of all the air signs, and Aquarius, have a psychological objective that is non-emotionally based. That doesn't mean that they themselves are not emotional, but it's not a criteria to them when it comes to assessing and evaluating the human experience. They don't include the human emotion. Now it involves other people. That's the difference between the air signs and the fire signs. The fire signs have an egotistical narcissism in which they don't see anybody or any perspective but their own. The Libra narcissism is that they see everybody's perspective and their own, and they're able to dissect and feel what's more valuable and what's more important. And if the emotions are part of that feedback, then that's when they castrate that off of them. And when they do that, they can throw off a whole experience. This is the weakness of the air signs, which is why I don't really care too much for them, because they cast off that which they think is not part or valuable, that leads and adds to the experience of the human condition. Air signs don't particularly care about including the emotional experience, which is why I don't respect the air signs the way many astrologers do. Especially if you're young. You got to get older to understand and have the courage to deal with emotional shit. And I don't think the air signs have that kind of courage, to be honest with you. They don't. The fire signs do, in a narcissistic way. You do better with the earth signs that roll the swift and handle. But the air signs go into a state of catatonia and a breakdown, especially if they're not evolved enough or young. And this goes with Aquarius, because Aquarius falls in that same category. And it takes time for them to evolve to be better people and have more empathy and a more human understanding, which is the nature of the principle of Aquarius, is the sense of humanity, which is ironic because that's exactly what they lack in human relationships and intimacy. They offer that generally to everybody because they're the friends of everybody. But when it comes to personal, emotional connection with a human being, they don't seem to foster that principle and the individual basis from one human being to another. And that's the problem with Aquarius. Come on now. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Uncle Fernando is telling you. I don't mince words. I tell it to you like it fucking is. Okay? Give me a minute. Oh, so I can, yeah. Yeah, I'm reading your comments. That's why I'm taking a pause. But I'm reading every single one of your comments. Am I making sense here? Listen, you make me. Let me know. Am I making sense here? Am I making sense here? Is this bullshit? Is Uncle Fernando bullshitting you? Tell me. Aries Moon, you know me. I don't mince words. I take it. The air signs, I'll tell you how the way they can evolve emotionally. Oh, me. Wait a minute. Not about it. It's like Afro Latin. Oh, he just grabbed me like, oh. Basta repetir, ya lo sé. Listen, if you're born Aquarius, got it right in. Let me tell you, when you're born with the sun in Aquarius and the moon in Aquarius, bullseye. The beat. Wait a minute. Let me say with this beat. El gran combo de Puerto Rico. You know, how could you stand still listening to them motherfuckers? My number is 347-485-6258. In the description box, all my information is available. Oh, wait. I can't believe that I have all this energy at 5:30 in the morning. This is the Aries moon. And my Leo fire, you know, I'm on fire. Okay. Understand. Aquarians are wonderful, amazing people, amazing people. They are. Now let's discuss the Aquarian woman. The Aquarian woman, the sun and moon, with the Aquarian woman. The Aquarian woman, born with the sun and moon in Aquarius. She could be a bitch. She could be a total bitch. She could come across as a total attitudinal bitch. It's not that she's a bitch, but she might come across to others like a bitch who doesn't give a shit. And if you give her a look because you're coming on to her, she'll give you a look and she's like, don't fucking look at me. Who are you? Don't even. Now, I've seen a Aquarian woman tear men to pieces because men are complimenting them. You know? I mean, it's a man's right to look, right? You don't touch, but you can look, right? We're allowed that as men. No, we're the chasers. No, we're like, oh, mommy, what good a minute. Yeah, we as men, we're supposed to do that. That's what we do, right? We're allowed to do that. God forbid you do that to an Aquarian woman. She will curse you down and tear you down. She does not appreciate that kind of courtship. The Aquarian woman is different. She's different. Oh, the bee. If you're going to capture an Aquarian woman, you cannot do that to her. You have to seduce her with your mind. Otherwise, and she don't care if you got dick and all that stuff. Oh, sure, a woman would always enjoy all of that, but it gets tired for a woman like her. You need to have more than just the dick and all that. You need to have a lot. The Aquarian woman requires a lot more than just the fucking dick. She's different. Oh, in sex, she is kinky and fun and all kind. But to get to that part of her, you've got to get to here to her first, or you're not gonna get anywhere with her. And that's my nigga. That's my word. I'm telling you. Oh, the beat. I, I, don't. The beat. Ya no sé. Oh, wait, let me explain. Wait. Just one more beat. Wait, one more. Before I start. Wait. How can you stand still and listen to a Gran Combo de Puerto Rico? You can't stand still and listen to that motherfucker. Oh no, it's too good. It's too good. The sun and moon in Aquarius in the human female. Very different than the human male. Oh God, yes. Oh God. Wait. Here comes the beer again. Ya lo sé. El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico. That fucking island. Oh my God. If I die, I want to die there. Oh my God. Ooh, I can't. Oh. Listen, the Aquarian woman, she's something else. Oh my God. Oh my God. She don't like compliments. You compliment her, her beauty, her looks, her thing. She gets pissed off. She gets angry. She don't like compliments. And she'll dismiss you the more nicer you are to her and kinder to her. And that turns people off because that makes her come across like a total bitch. And she's not. The Aquarian woman has an issue with self-esteem. But it's not the kind of self-esteem issue that you find in Taurus, which can have a real fucked up self-esteem issue for the unevolved types. The Aquarian woman is more self-effacing, more dismissive about who she is. Thank you, Isabel Moore. She doesn't, the Aquarian woman values more her accomplishments and her intellectual acumen. The Aquarian woman is sexy, attractive. The opposite polarity is Leo. And the way she walks and sways, I mean, there are Aquarian women that can make a rise out of my shit. The Aquarian woman, as detached and as aloof as she is diabolically beautiful and sexy. The thing is that she doesn't think she is. And if she is, she doesn't give much value to it. And that's fucked up. Now, as a woman, that's, again, the 11th sign. The beauty, attraction, sex, and desire, and being coquettish and coerced and trying to pull men, all those are agencies of the ego. When you reach Aquarius, the ego is dying. The ego is dying. The ego is not as strong in Aquarius as it is, let's say, Leo or Gemini the younger signs, the earlier signs. As we get to the 11th sign, we are moving away from the experience of the ego and going towards the cosmic, the spiritual, which is a detachment of earthly, mundane, ego, earthly, flesh and blood, life. The Aquarian is seeking something above this plane. Oh, the bee. Oh, yeah, the sun and the moon in Aquarius and the human female. Quite different than with the male. I, 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 I. Good morning. I. The sun and the moon in Aquarius. Tú te vas a arrepentir, ya lo sé. Oh my God, I got combo. Oh my God, it's to die. Oh my God, I love it. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Mm. So understand that when you're born with the sun and moon in Aquarius, you are very, 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 very different from everybody else. And there is a psychological orientation. How can I put it? There's a certain level. How can I put it? Oh my God, the Aquarian woman is kinky. Very. Men are caught back off guard at how kinky she is. You know? I think it's, her demeanor outside the bedroom is so very Capricornish. Remember, the co-ruler of Aquarius was Saturn. Saturn. So there's a discipline but she's the woman that she's, mm, uh, yes, yes. Thank you very much. She's very that, But then behind closed doors, she take out her glasses, let's have her hair, and she'll fuck you down. Okay? But you have to understand the Aquarian woman. To get to her loins, it's going to take time to get there because she's going to have to open her legs for you. And she ain't going to open them to you if you don't got this, regardless of how much dick you might have. I'm telling you. And if she entertains the dick and there's nothing here, after a while, she'll get tired of it. I'm telling you. She'll get a dildo and do that for herself. Oh my God, you have no idea. You have no idea what the psychology of the Aquarian woman is sexually and outside the bedroom. And she's complicated. She's a woman that has multiple needs and even needs that she may not even know that she needs. She evolves over time. And if she has a partner that helps usher her out of her shell, like the Capricorn woman, even better. But we get to the older signs, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. These women require more stimulation sexually for them to relax and be themselves. Because as we get higher up the plane, sex is less necessary and less vital towards the obtaining of spiritual principles. In fact, sex can be a deterrent from that if it's not expressed in a higher esoteric way. Oh, the beat. Oh, the beat. Oye, cuánto. The sun and the moon in Aquarius. It's something else, let me tell you. It's something else. Oi, guaguanco, guaguanco. Oh my God. Oi. The sun and the moon in Aquarius. And we are done with the stream. We will now go and talk about the specific of the sun in Aquarius and the moon in Aries. Thank you, guys. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I listen. Put a little spike on the coffee to get you up there. Put a little spike. If I was gonna end the stream, but you know what? I'm already up. It's 6:01. Let me continue on with the series. Um. Oh, you're welcome. Bye bye, Alucard. I ain't going yet, but okay. I'll tell you. Oh, now let me tell you something. Oh wait, hold on. Oh God, don't you hate it when they take you all the way back and you gotta like, you know. Uh-huh. Okay. Now let's talk about the moon in Aquarius. I mean the sun in Aquarius and the moon in Aries. It's different for a man and for a woman. If you're born with the sun in Aries, in Aquarius, and the moon in Aries, a sextile, air and fire go well together. With the sun in Aquarius and the moon in Aries, as a man, let me tell you, you could be a total asshole. A total asshole. Difficult, arrogant, pompous, abusive, use women as masturbatory objects rather than see them as human beings with emotions and feelings. With the Aquarius sun and the moon in Aries, you can be reckless, irresponsible, downright foolhardy, and very unpopular and unliked. With the moon in Aries leading the Aquarian sun, you trample through people, trample through experiences, don't respect anything that doesn't appeal to you. You throw away people after you use them, discard them, dismiss them. People are a means to an end rather than a connection towards higher evolution of consciousness. Of consciousness. Oh God. The Aquarian sun with the Aries moon can be terrible, bombastic, arrogant, mean spirited, shrewd, impetuous, uncontrollable, untamable, and completely a turnoff. Especially if you're below age 30 and you're young. You would think it will get better as you get older. The fact is that it really depends on many factors with this combination. If you're not well educated, well groomed, if you come from poverty or come from a low class or no education, this can be a hustler's signature. This can be a combination of a bully. When it comes to the men with this combination, as young boys, they get involved in fights, fight, have enemies, can be involved in dangerous activity. You know, it is there's so much thoughtlessness, irresponsibility. Men born with the sun in Aquarius and the moon in Aries grow and mature over time. It's not going to happen right away. The Aquarian sun already has you oriented towards looking up and beyond humanity, not giving a shit about the little details and the little things that can hurt people or help elevate people. With the moon in Aries, it is a double dose of that. The orientation is towards total self gratification and self interest, very much like the sun in Capricorn and the moon in Capricorn. These people may have a problem connecting emotionally to the needs of another human being. For them to evolve from that would take time and reflection, should they ever have the patience and wisdom over time to engage in that kind of activity of reflection. The woman with the sun in Aquarius and the moon in Aries is equally offensive, a castrator. A woman that probably has gone through emotional trauma or sexual abuse or molestation in her youth. Doesn't happen to all women of Aquarius with an Aries moon. But there's a lot of Aries women with Aries moon or Aries sun that experience rape and assault. It happens to every woman at one point in their lifetime, at some point in their development. And it's most likely that the Aquarian woman with an Aries moon may have been a victim of assault or rape or molestation or something that might have caused her to develop an anger dynamic. Many women in my office when I was a psychotherapist with an Aries moon have had anger issues and have fibroids and ovarian cysts. Again, indicators in their bodies that anger is a main component for why they may have fibroids. Because these women may have experienced abuse, emotional, physical abuse in their past. And this is something that may need to be integrated and assimilated into the personality of the woman born with this combination. You know, it's deep. It's deep. It's deep. It's deep. It's deep. I gotta take a drink on that. It's deep. The woman with the sun in Aquarius and the moon in Aries learns over time to love herself. Women with the moon in Aries have an anger dynamic that doesn't allow them to love themselves. And they experience abusive relationships. Only over time do they learn to love themselves. And in loving themselves, they attract the right partners to them. But loving yourself requires just being comfortable in your own skin. It means knowing who you are, knowing what your capabilities are, and knowing what makes you tick and what causes you to defend your own integrity. These are determinants that can only be valued if you have a certain degree of self respect, dignity, and self love. When you have that, when you have that for yourself, you don't attract riffraff. You attract the right people to you, but only if you genuinely love yourself, or you're not going to attract what you want, but the opposite. So if you want to attract the right person to you, Learn to love you. And when you do, then you will attract someone that will love you the same way that you love yourself. It is the law of attraction. I'm not wrong. Am I wrong? Let me know if I'm wrong. Let that sink in while I continue to sip of this woman coke. I'm being told by MS Mars to say something nice. Let me tell you, I can say something nice, but I think it's more helpful if I say what's fucked up about you so you can learn to change it and evolve from it. I'm not the type of astrologer that's going to say something nice. No, I'm not that type of astrologer. I'm going to say what's wrong and fucked up about you so you can transcend it and evolve it and become a better person. I think that's more useful. You know the good part of you, but you may know the bad part of you, but do you own the bad part of you? You may or you may not. So I'm just trying to gonna put the bad shit out there to force it down your throat so you can use it to either be worse than what you are or evolve from it. My job as an astrologer is to cause you to evolve to be a better person. And to do that, I gotta say the fucked up things about you, about me, about all of us that we have to transcend to be better human beings so we can treat each other better, treat our animals better, treat our plants, and treat our planet better. That is what's important to me. Not to say the good things. That's not helpful to you or to me because you know the good things. But do you know the bad things about yourself? And if you do, are you willing to change it? Do you know how to change it? Are you in denial? And that's what I focus on. Because if I focus on the bad and you see that and you know that it's there, then you will do something to change it. And that can help humanity evolve as a whole. And that's why I focus on the negative so you can transcend it. Don't compliment me. Tell me what's wrong so I can evolve from it. That's more useful than empty compliments. Okay? So, having said that, how does the moon in Aries with an Aquarian man or woman transcend their own narcissistic bubble that they can be involved in? Well, the best way to do that is to give them a jolt and give them a wake up call. Okay? The Aries moon in a man or in a woman can be the Aries moon in a man and a woman with the Aquarius sun can, in a higher level of expression that's positive, can be a champion, can be a champion for the people. With the moon in Aries as an Aquarian man or woman, there's a lot that you can do to advance humanity. You could be a fighter. Let me tell you, when I was in high school, I've experienced many people that will bully young people, other people. I was the guy that would beat up the bullies because they would beat up people that were weaker than them. So after school, I would say, "Yo, you're gonna pick on him? Why don't you pick on me?" And I would pow, and I will beat the fuck out of them. If you hit that person and they're weaker than you, so now I'm gonna fuck you up. That's how I use my Aries moon. You know, I was a defender of the weak and those who could not fight back. Now, with the Aquarian sun, with the Aries moon, you can do that intellectually and a platform that can be a trailblazing experience. Okay? With the Aries moon, you can stand injustice and abuse of any kind, and you will step up to the plate to defend those who could not defend themselves. And I love that of the Aries moon. Because we are going to protect and defend you if we feel that things are stacked against you in an unfair way. Even if you are at fault, it's cardinal. We believe in fair play. The opposite polarity of Aries is Libra. Fair play and balance. And if we have to go out there and kick and fight and kick the shit out of you, we will do that. Now, this is the danger of the Aries moon. But with an air sign of Aquarius, the fight occurs mentally and intellectually. And they may have to be that way to settle the score when you're born with the sun in Aquarius and the moon in cardinal and fiery Aries. Yes, Robertoni 7, I was the bully fighter. I fought the bullies. And boy, did I fight them. And I didn't give a fuck. You're not going to do that and take advantage of people weaker than you on my watch. You know, and that's the cardinality of Aries. We're gonna settle the score. Okay. So with the moon in Aries and the sun in Aquarius, you can fight with dignity and altruism for the betterment of your fellow human beings. Okay? Hey, Mason G. Nando is the name of my twin brother, by the way. Hi, Salt and Pepper. I will talk about Salt and Pepper. I will talk about the Aquarius and Pisces moon in the next series because I just started with Aquarius with the moon in Aries. I got to do Aquarius with the moon in Taurus, Aquarius with the moon in Gemini. I'm going through the series. Pisces is the last. So I won't be doing this in this stream, but in the next stream, I will be doing that. I will be discussing the Aquarius, sun with the moon in Pisces. And we are, please donate. Thank you for staying and tuning in. And as we are going to go now with Aquarius sun and the moon in Taurus.